gonna get a copyright strike for that.
You can't get a copyright strike for that.
Oh.
Welcome back to Gay Mavericks.
Welcome back to Game Mavericks Presents Zero's Play. Where in this episode we're gonna get that fucking star off of the eel's tail. Because that's just loverly game design, isn't it, folks?
Loverly.
Yeah, loverly.
The most loverly of game design.
I like how the ship flooded in the first star and now it's, apparently buoyant enough to float.
Well, remember we got the water, we drained the water out of it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it didn't flood, it did. Okay, my memory is just bad because I'm getting old.
Yeah, you're so old. Almost 20 already.
Come on.
Goodbye.
Oh!
That scared the shit out of me as a kid. Oh my god. Couldn't even
Oh my god. Oh,
it's not that funny.
Oh. So, I don't know.
Can the eel come out and lick my junk?
I heard, at college, I took an acting class, and then there was this one guy, and don't ask me how this...
Does this have anything to do with the licking junk?
No.
Okay. Because I'm not sure how much that story needs to be told.
But there's this one guy, at the end of the semester, we had to, present a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
And, one guy had, this monologue that was, about...
Oh, okay, of course.
And, part of it was just
God bless America.
Part of the monologue was, am I the only one who, turned my on its side and then, opened the opening, up and down like it was a mouth talking? and when I heard you say, lick my junk and eel in the same sentence, I was just like, oh, yeah.
I think everybody's done that. Right? I don't know about you. But let's change the subject. It's here on Game Mavericks. Here on Game Mavericks.
Okay, you touched the star.
Yes, I did. There it goes.
All right.
First try.
Right.
Right. Okay. Look at all that success.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Michael.
Yes.
What is your experience with this game?
Well, we already kind of shared that.
Did we?
Yeah, like I said, it was the first console game I ever played. Played the shit out of it as a kid. Enjoyed the DS port.
Oh, that's right.
And then I came back to it recently and realized, yeah, this game does not hold up all that well. Well, it does not hold up as well as I remember it.
Mm-hmm. Because,
unlike most people, I'm willing to change my opinions on games where I realize that, yeah, while this may have been fun when I was a kid, it has problems, and I'm willing to recognize that and understand that there are others in the same series, or other series, rather.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a few specific stars. Like the owl cage, although I did figure out all I need to do is ground pound.
Well, yeah, I mean, even, compared to games of its time, I'd rather play Spyro.
Or Banjo-Kazooie.
I'd rather play Banjo-Kazooie or Tooie.
Oh, I always forget the order of these.
I mean, I feel like those games are much more polished than this one. This might have more variety than, Spyro, where it gets repetitive really fast. Or Banjo-Kazooie, where, it feels like there's so much shit to collect that it just takes forever. But, I don't know. I guess I prefer the setup of the Mario Collectathon games over those other two, but I feel like the execution was better in those two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they perfected it by Galaxy, I'm absolutely with that crowd who will say that Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are two of the greatest video games ever created.
I know a lot of people don't think so, but those are usually the people who only really like the Mario classic games and...
Well, yeah, it's just and I absolutely detest that crowd, by the way, that'll just say, it's new, so therefore it's not as good as the old ones, because the old ones are old. And I grew up with the old ones, so therefore they're better. I hate that crowd. They can suck my which will make faces.
Fondle the...
God. I mean, like, and...
You know what really cheeses me off? People who have their own opinions.
Oh, when the opinion is based on sentiment and not on fact. You know, it's based on, this game gives me a nostalgic warm fuzzy, and this game does not.
One single warm fuzzy.
Yes.
Is how many nostalgia runs I'm getting.
I don't know. Like, I feel like people
nostalgia and Imma after everything now.
And like I really think that people need to stop letting nostalgia cloud their minds and view games on their own merits rather than like, well, it's old, so therefore I can just. I mean, like, it's fine if this is your favorite. Like, if there's someone out there who, I know that a lot of people consider 64 the best in the series, and I obviously don't, but if they consider it their favorite, it's not my place to tell people what's their favorite.
Honestly, don't consider this the best in the series.
Yeah.
I just think it's still a really good game.
Well, so do I, to an extent. I mean, like, I understand that for its time, like, it's not like there was a big book that said, here's how to make a 3D platformer, now go do it and it'll be perfect. No. There's some trial and error involved, and I understand that, but at the same time, just because this came out first doesn't mean I have to accept it as the best, just because it was first. You know what I mean?
Do you know if there's a red coin up on those three, like...
I know. Have you tried going on the ship yet?
No, I know that there is some on the ship, but...
Well, how many do you need?
I think I have, like, 4 or 5. Here, I'll just go get those ones. I could have swore that there was one up on the thing, but I could be wrong.
But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, especially as someone who grew up in the 3D era, where a lot of things were very experimental and not everything worked, but at the time people accepted it as good because it was the first 3D games and nobody knew how to make 3D games, so it was just kind of like
were like were so used to like NES and SNES and Genesis and
yeah,
like just 2D platformers and stuff that maybe this wasn't their cup of tea.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it was a time change.
Usually, I just like to consider them separate spheres.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just considered everything from the 3D era onwards like its own sphere, and then everything before it like a different one.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem, because I know you're very internet warrior when it comes to classic Sonic versus Dreamcast era Sonic and modern Sonic.
Oh, I can at least respect the classicist's opinion more because, like, I know they're actually decent games.
Yes.
I don't think they're the best, and I wish that they'd stop stroking their dick all the time, but they're at least decent, fun games.
I honestly think that's fine. I think the biggest thing that I think people don't really think about is, they're like, okay, these are the different generations of Sonic, right?
Yeah.
Those games are so drastically different, like,
yes,
in every possible way. Like, you can hardly even, as a game, like in terms of gameplay and stuff, compare, you know, Sonic 2 to Sonic Adventure 2 to, like, Sonic Unleashed or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And, I feel like they're just not comparable. So if you like the classic games, and you just really don't like the modern games, then you like different types of games. It's not because they're bad Sonic games, but the same goes in vice versa. They're allowed to like the classic games too.
Well, yeah.
Well, I know you said that they're allowed to like them, but they're allowed to say they're good.
What bugs me about classicists is, like, if they want to like something, that's fine. It's their reasons for not liking things that I don't accept. It's because, like, when they criticize the modern, like, say what you will about the Dreamcast games, because those have aged even worse than this game.
Well, I know a lot
honestly.
of people like the Dreamcast too.
Yeah, and most of them are like Alonzo, where they grew up with them, so they, you know, they're nostalgically blinded. But
whoa.
But for like the modern games, like, they're pretty solid, and like they have much better control. The camera has been fixed. The level design is great. They don't have the bullshit special stages in them, so that's always a plus in my book.
People who don't like them, I feel like it's because you just may not like that type of game as much. I'm not a big fan of Sonic in general.
I just wish they wouldn't throw them onto the bus for being new.
Yeah, but, you know, I feel like you kind of get that. You get that way in the opposite direction.
Yeah, to show them what it's like.
Yes.
I mean, like, if I wanted to nitpick the classics, I can do that, just the same as they can nitpick the moderns.
Well, my opinion on it is, fucking like whatever you like.
Yes.
Let's just all play video games and have fun together, you know what I mean?
Speaking of which, we're at 10 minutes and we just completed a star. And
yes.
So we're going to cut things off here. See you guys next time when we enter this new brain spanking level.